So, hi Sumit, how are you?
Hello, sir. I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm also good.
Mm.
So, how was your day?
Uh, it was good. Most of the time I just spent on revisions
Okay,
for the interview.
okay. So, before starting towards your interview,
Mm.
okay, so can you just brief me about yourself?
Yes, sir. So myself, Sumit Mahajan. I did my BTech in civil engineering. After that, I actually worked as an environment engineer for 3.5 years before transitioning into the IT sector. So I have like 2 years of experience in front-end development. For the first 1.5 year, I mostly worked as a UI developer, and for the past 6 months, I'm working as an Angular developer. So,
Okay, and why are you leaving your current organization?
there is nothing particular apart from the actually there are project issues that are coming to our organization currently. So like past few weeks, we are just working on kind of bug solving and everything. So I thought it's better to kind of explore some opportunities.
Okay, so what is your project's name?
Sorry.
Your project name that you have worked on, application name.
So basically, it was some Frappe framework was the one. We had kind of US based client. It was related to kind of you can say the accounting similar to the accounting app, and we just had to provide the functionality to it. And
Okay,
actually, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, can you just tell me about your strengths and weaknesses?
Uh, to speak about the strengths, I think I'm good at problem solving. Also, I have kind of good experience with client handling as well. Uh, I actually learned things quite quicker, so that is kind of my strength. Uh, if we are speaking about weaknesses, I think sometimes I kind of get involved with the work and spend I think too much time. So which on a personal level it is a good thing, but for professional I think it can just not we can not say waste time, but yeah, I can spend some more time on that particular problem or something like that. And then there is another thing was gulab jamun, which I think I cannot resist it at all. So I can say that that is definitely my weakness.
Okay, okay. So, what is HTML?
So HTML is nothing but it is actually full form is sorry, hypertext markup language, which is just used to provide structure, create web pages.
Okay. And what is the difference between HTML5 and HTML4?
So basically, HTML5 is the recent version of the HTML. There are many functionalities and kind of different tags were introduced in HTML5. So HTML5 is kind of much faster, much flexible to use compared to HTML4. One of the I think major difference was the declaration of doc type. In HTML5, it is very simple and small, like doc type HTML that just represented HTML5. While in HTML4, it was kind of a longer version and kind of complex also. Because there are so many new tags like uh, section, header, footer, etc. were introduced in HTML5, which help us kind of as a user much more. It gives us user much more readability, and also the browser to understand the structure quite well compared to HTML4. Also, there are I think major difference was with audio and video. In HTML4, it needed Flash player to support audio and video, while in HTML5 there are tags called audio and video to provide the control. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the difference between inline elements and the block level elements?
Okay. So I think there are four major ways we can differentiate between block and inline element. So first is the width of the element. So for block element, the width is its parents. It takes like 100% of its parents' width. and in inline it actually takes only the width of its content. Second is the margin. We can provide like margin to block element in four ways: left, right, top, and bottom. So, but for inline, we can only provide like left and right margin. Top and bottom margin cannot be provided. The third main difference is height and width. We can actually give height and width to block elements, but we cannot apply height and width to inline elements. And the fourth is starting point actually. So block elements always start on a new line, while inline element can start on the same line if there is space available. So for example, are like block elements are division, section, header elements, paragraph, etc. And inline elements we can say the image tag, anchor tag, etc.
Okay. What is the difference between inline display inline and display inline block?
Display inline and display inline block.
Yes.
So we use display inline block to give property to block elements, property of inline, kind of inline properties to the block element. That time we can use inline block. While we use display inline, there are only inline properties will be assigned to the element, irrespective of its like if it's block or inline.
Okay. So Rahul sir is here.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, Rahul sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Hello, Sumit. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good, fine.
Okay, Rahul sir,
Okay.
you can ask questions.
Okay. Sumit, tell me what is the box sizing?
So box sizing nothing but calculating height and width of the HTML element.
Okay, good. What is the key difference between HTML element and tags?
HTML elements and tags. So basically, HTML element consists of HTML tag, which just provides information. It consists of like HTML opening of HTML tag, then there are some attributes, then closing of HTML tag, and everything in between. While HTML tag is nothing but that particular HTML, which we can see a part of that HTML element that provides information to the browser. So we can say paragraph, just that is an HTML tag.
What is the purpose of doc type?
So actually doc type, we use doc type to provide information about the particular document we are using or the HTML's version actually at the beginning of the HTML line.
What is the box model?
Box model. So every HTML element can be considered as a box model, which has some properties like border, padding, margin, and content.
Okay. Can you elaborate it?
Yeah. So basically, content is nothing but the information that we see on the web page, and then the border is used to provide kind of act as a differentiator between padding and margin. While padding is nothing but the space between content and border, and margin is space outside the border.
So the border. Okay. Tell me what is the attribute?
So attribute are nothing but the keywords that we provide in the opening HTML tag to give kind of like information to the browser about that HTML element.
Okay, good. Tell me what is the difference between strong and bold tag?
Strong and bold tag, actually both work in the similar way.
Yes.
Bold, which just gives that particular element the bold value, while we use strong to define or emphasize on a particular word in a paragraph or kind of section.
Can you repeat?
So bold and I think strong, as far as I'm actually I had never used it before. So basically bold works makes kind of the word bold, and strong also do that. But we can use strong in like bold we can use in CSS styling, and when we use strong, we can use strong in the as an attribute and kind of add like add as a tag inside an HTML element.
Okay. Check after that. Into this. Huh?
Okay, yeah, sure.
tell me what is the difference between link and anchor tag?
Link and anchor tag. So basically, we use anchor tag to create a hypertext to kind of attach a different or external web page to our HTML document, and it is used inside the body element. And link is used to like attach external documents such as style sheet and etc. to the HTML document, and which is link we have to use inside the head element.
What is the display none and visibility hidden?
Uh, so when we use display none, the element is completely removed from the layout, and when we use the visibility hidden, it is just hidden from the user perspective, but it stays inside the page layout, so it still takes up the space.
Okay. What are the lists?
There are actually two different ways we can use list in an HTML. So basically, it's unordered list and ordered list. So an order list are just like 1 to numbering 1 2 3, while like bullet points and kind of can be part of the unordered list.
Okay. Can you share your screen and
Yes.
show me order list starting with the Roman number?
Roman numbers. Okay.
Yes.
Is it okay if I use VS Code?
Yes, yes, no problem.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. I have to create a list with Roman numbers, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just write this.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Just
Suppose Sumit.
okay. Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Fine. I want to red color to Sumit and Sujit.
Sumit and
Each
Sujit.
odd element. Yellow element.
Odd elements. Okay.
How to achieve it?
So we can use the attribute as nth child.
You can show now.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just
Apply
use
the red color.
CSS.
Each odd particular element.
Okay.
Red color.
Yeah. So before starting, I'll just give the CSS reset.
Okay.
Okay. Red color. No, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Huh?
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
How can we club two or more rows and columns into a single row or column in an HTML table?
Table. We can use col span and row span tag.
Row span and col span.
Col span. Huh?
Just show me one club one row and one column.
Okay.
How to club it?
Mm. And just directly fine. Mm. Hello.
Hmm?
So it's Sumit Udgir is actually kind of joined together. Sorry, name is taking the difference. Actually, forgot how to use the
Okay, no problem.
borders
Check.
actually.
Okay. And check after club how to club it. Okay.
Yes, yes.
In how many way can we use position and HTML element?
Positioning. There are five actually major ways. So first is basic. Sorry. There are five basic ways we can use positioning. The first is static, which is kind of default position for HTML elements. Then there are positions are absolute and relative. So which used to kind of move the element in respect to each other, that particular element. Then there is sticky and fixed.
What is the sticky position?
So basically, sticky position is a mixture of relative and fixed position. So it normally acts as a relative position until and unless it satisfies some certain condition that we give, and after that it just act as a fixed position. So for
Okay.
example, we can like provide a sticky position to one of the headers, which is kind of at very bottom of the kind of page, and we can provide the top position as a 0. So whenever it goes at the top, it will stay fixed.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, good. Suppose we have one box. Its height is 500 and width is 500.
Yes.
There is one other box. Its height is 100 pixel and width is 100 pixel. I wanted the
100.
second box in the center of the
Okay.
first box.
Okay.
How to achieve it and show me.
Okay. So we use like CSS positioning. I'll just start writing.
Just show
Is
me.
it okay if I remove?
Yes,
those
yes.
things?
Okay.
No, I'll just do it. So the outer box has height and width
500.
700,
500.
500.
500.
Hundred, 100, right?
100.
We have to put it at the center. Right? Stop. So here, when I'm using 50%, it actually represents the width of main, actually, its parent element. So
Result.
yes, sir.
We are doing like this way. No problem. There is one other another way you can use
Yes,
transform, translate,
transform,
left
translate is
50%, left 50%,
right.
top
Is
50%.
yeah,
That's the better way.
yes, yes. I've actually, yeah, I'll practice it more on that.
Okay. Okay. Tell me what is the difference between ID, class, and type selector?
ID class and
Type
type
selector.
selector. So there are like types of basic selector. So ID, tag, and class are nothing but attributes given to the element. So when we are using like ID selector, we have to use like hash and the ID name. For the class selector, it is dot and the class name. And for the tag selector, it's directly the tag name. Kind of ID is kind of very specific to particular tag HTML element. So it is only used once. So it has kind of like higher specificity index compared to class and tag.
Higher specificity than class, and that's it. Okay.
Tags.
In how many way we can we use specify the CSS style for the HTML element?
Mm, so basically, so directly using the tag, or if we have like class element using class, or if we can provide specific ID and use ID selector to provide the styling. Sorry. Hello.
Okay. Ushi, Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
And from my side, you can continue.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So you can stop your screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me what is JavaScript?
Uh, so JavaScript is kind of lightweight, interpreted, first-class function and kind of object-oriented language is mostly used with HTML and CSS5 as a scripting language, like providing functionality to HTML in general web pages.
Okay. And what is first class function?
So first-class function is nothing but when a function is kind of used as a value. I mean, like we can declare it and assign it to a variable function.
Yes. Okay. And how many types of data types are there in JavaScript?
Data types. Okay, so they are mainly divided in two particular types. So one is primitive and second is non-primitive. So primitive data types are like string, number, boolean, undefined, symbol, and null. When non kind of primitive data types are object function.
Okay. And what is the type of null?
Type of null.
Yes.
Uh,
If we use type of and print null, what will be the output?
Not a number. I'm actually not
Can you
sure.
check? Open Chrome and check.
Yeah.
You can check.
Do I need to share the screen?
Yes. What is type of? Do you know?
Yes. So for an element, we can check its data type actually.
Yes.
Null. Okay.
No type of. Yes.
Yeah. Object.
But it is a
Sorry.
primitive data type, no?
Yes, it is a primitive. It's kind of yeah. It's kind of an error with the JavaScript actually.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. So what is coercion?
Coercion.
Yes.
It's like converting one data type into another, like string number to string or boolean to number or string.
Yes. Okay. And what is an array?
Array, it's nothing but a list of elements or we can say value which were stored in the form of index number.
Okay. And what is string?
String is nothing but collection of like alphanumerical characters, which is kind of written in inside like single or double quoted.
Yes. What is the difference between slice and splice?
Slice and splice. So
Yes.
basically, slice kind of cuts that particular string array, and splice we can kind of add, remove, or we can do both. You know, kind of depending on its index of
Yes.
that character or element.
Basically, it is used for deletion. Okay.
Deletion, yes.
What is difference between push and pop?
Push and pop. So pop is used to remove the last element of an array, while push is kind of adds element at the last in the array.
Okay. And if I want to add element at the first index, how can I add?
Add. So we have like shift method.
Yes. Shift method to,
Add an element at the kind of zeroth index of an
and
array
why we use unshift?
to remove the first and zeroth index element.
You said reverse in reverse order.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So shift is actually used to remove the first element, and unshift is actually used to add
Yes.
the element at the beginning. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, fine. So tell me what math.random do?
Math.random.
Yes.
So it's actually creates a random number between 0 to 1, except 1,
Yes. Random numbers between.
0 to 1.
Yes. Okay. How can I sort a string? Sorry, array.
Sort an array using sort method.
Yes. If I want to sort in descending order, then
We can actually use reverse method on the sorted array.
yes. Can you do that here only in console?
Okay. So
Take one array here only in console. Ah,
yes.
nothing will happen. It's okay.
Yeah, no, actually,
Electricity.
just electricity just went out.
Ah, yes, nothing will happen. Okay. I can see you clearly.
Yeah. So I'll just take an array. So I can actually use directly on both of them or separately. I'll just use.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes, I'm seeing it. Okay. Yes, correct. So tell me, how can I print today's date?
Today's date using new date method.
What is new date?
So it just gives a kind of current time.
Okay. What is constructor?
Constructor is nothing but the blueprint of an object. We can use kind of again and again.
Blueprint of an.
Object.
Okay. And what is a keyword?
New is the keyword.
No. What is mean by the keyword?
Okay, keyword. These are kind of words that were kind of pre-used by in the JavaScript that we will just use directly. I think there is better definition about it. Yeah.
Okay. What is a function?
So function is nothing but kind of specifically written code which does a specific task.
Yes.
Mm.
And in how many ways we can write a function? Means function can be
Uh, it is can be a function declaration or a function expression, like in that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And okay. So what is the difference between slice, substring, and sub-str?
Substring and substr. Okay. So these are method used on string actually. So all of them actually do the purpose is the same, to kind of cut a specific part of the string. So in slice and substring, we actually use kind of two indexes, start index and end index, and we get the kind of part between that. But the main difference between slice and substring is that in slice we can use negative values for the index as well. So that starts from the end. In substring, we have to use only positive indexes. While in sub str, we actually provide the start index, but the second number is the number of character that we need after that index. So it cuts that much part of that string.
Okay. And can you write a program for deleting an element from an array?
From an array. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll just use code editor.
Yes, Visual Studio Code.
Yeah.
Take one array, okay,
Okay.
take some elements and write a generic function in which what value we will provide that
That will get
should be
deleted.
removed from the array. Okay.
Okay. So I'll just get the numbers array.
Yes.
So you have to delete a specific number, right? Yes. So I'll
Yes.
just write a function.
Yes.
Delete num, and we'll give the parameter of num, so we can add that number later on. We call it. So I'll just use splice method and apply for each on the list actually. So it will
Yes.
be
You
much
can
easier.
write and then you can tell me.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yes. First you concentrate on the program.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Uh, so I just wrote the program.
Okay. Okay. So pass 2 in that.
2. Okay.
Yes. Yes, correct. Okay.
Mm.
So now you can explain me what you did.
Okay, so I just created a basic function and we'll just use like a number for parameter. So we can provide it later, whichever number we want to delete. So first I applied like for each on that array, for loop on that array, and which will give us like single value and its index value. So I took two parameters in that. Then we applied a condition of if else. So the single value, if it is equal to the number that we will pass on that function, if that is equal, then we'll just use splice to remove that particular element. So basically, splice will require the index the number, and then the second value is like how many contents or elements we need to remove. So that's why I use I as a parameter as well in the for each.
Yes.
Mm.
Correct.
Mm.
Okay. So can you write a same program? How many counts? Take some same variables. Okay. Means
Okay.
some same elements like 5, 5, 3, 3, like that.
Okay.
And
Mm.
how many times each element is present means
Okay.
occurred,
Okay. So
count of that element.
okay, count of that element.
Yes, you can try. You can take your time.
Okay.
Okay. You
Mm.
can think and you can try.
Mm. Okay. I'll just use the same array. Mm.
Yes, you can use same array.
Yes, sir. So I'll just convert it into a function.
Okay. No need to convert in a function. It is
Okay,
better
fine.
to convert, but um, means Can you array dot push element? Okay, what you did means tell me.
So basically, I kind of wrote, wait, 1 second.
Yes,
So
yes.
I just created an empty array,
Mm-hmm.
and I applied the for each on that original array. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever the number matched to that particular element, I just pushed it into that empty array, and I
Mm-hmm.
calculated length of it. So
Okay.
single numbers, like we can just pass
Yes, yes.
number to and get how many times it is there.
Yes, yes. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
This is also good. Okay. So
Okay.
you can try it for every element. Okay. After that means now,
Okay.
not now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So after that you can try after this interview over. So for each element you have to print a count how many times it offered.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So okay. So here we come to the end of your interview. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. I mean, can you like give a feedback on this interview? Like any areas that I should have worked on better and something that would have improved my like chances for that getting the job.
Yes, you were your this is your first interview and this is I think it is very impressive. Okay, so
Okay.
what you have to do is just concentrate on your practice. Okay,
Okay.
that will help you in future after getting a job. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so try to practice more.
Okay.
Okay, yes, okay, okay. So thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Sir. Yeah, bye.